So, from the chapter Financial Planning, from the problem set 4a, only 10th question is remaining that I will complete, and then I will continue the circle next part. So here sum number 10 for the given page number 111 from Maths 1 book Algebra. For the given trading chain, prepare the tax invoice 123 GST at the rate of 12% was charged for the article supplied. So first they have given wholesaler, distributor, retailer or consumer. So here we are going to find out. They have given the taxable value for each at the rate of 12%. We are going to calculate the GST, CGST, followed. So first thing that we are going to write, wholesaler. So here I am going to make a table person as they have given in your answer. And how these answers you are going to calculate, that I will show on this side. Alright. So payable GST, so they have used the word manufacturer. So instead of that you can write wholesaler, distributor, then retailer, and then total tax. So there are 4 columns. How to make the calculations are very easy. So here payable CGST, then payable SGST and payable GST. Rupees. Alright. So first they have given the 5,000 is the taxable value for wholesaler. Taxable value. So 5,000 into 12 upon 100. That will give you 600. So payable GST in rupees, here you write 600 rupees. Followed. So as here C is this, CGST will be 300, SGST will be 300 rupees. Followed. Now here for the distributor, here they have given you the taxable value 6,000. Taxable value 6,000. So we are going to calculate 6,000 into 12 upon 100. So it is 720 rupees will be the GST. Followed. So 720. So GST payable by distributor will be, now here this is the output tax for the wholesaler and this is the input tax for the wholesaler, but whichever is the output tax for the wholesaler, that will become the input tax for the distributor. So 720 minus 600, that will give you 120. So here 120 rupees or you may have here 720 get divided into 360 and 360 rupees. So you can write here 360 minus 300, that is equal to 60 rupees. Here 360 minus 300, 60 rupees. So that is how you are going to fill in the table. Alright. So here CGST 60, SGST 60 and total is 120. Now the third taxable value for retailer is 6500. So 6500 into 12 upon 100. So that will give you 780. Followed. So 780 minus 720, whichever is the output tax for the distributor will be input tax for the, this is the output tax, this is input tax, minus 60 rupees. So here, or you may do this 780 into 2, 390, 390. Followed. So here 390 minus 360 equal to 30 rupees. 390 minus 360, 30 rupees. Followed. So if we have that total 300 plus 60 plus 330, that will give you 390 rupees. Again here 390 rupees, and this will be total 780, 600, 720, 600, 750. So that is the table which is expected as answer number 1 in this question. Then at the end, what amount is paid by the consumer? So for consumer, the second answer will be amount paid will be 6500 plus 780, 700 and 280. Followed? That is the answer. And then write which of the invoices issued are B2B and B2C. So if we consider man or manufacturer or wholesaler to the distributor and distributor to the retailer, first two are B2B, while retailer to consumer, that will be B2C. Followed? So retailer to consumer, B2C. Followed? So that is how you are going to write the answers for this. Now after finishing this 4th A, this lesson is not completed. The remaining part I will see which is omitted, and then I will continue that after finishing this chapter circle. Followed? Because circle is more important. So I will focus on circle after that. Now in the next video, that means I am not going to take this algebra part anything, but I will take directly the circle. Followed? Now today, what is the part from the circle we are going to take? So you open page number 59. We have completed practice set 3.2 from circle chapter. So from M2 geometry, you open page number 59. Now we are going to see the concept of arc. So if we have seen the figure 3.29, in figure 3.29 they have shown a circle with center C, and in that circle they have drawn a line K which is a secant, and due to that line K, the circle get divided into two arcs, which are arc AXB and arc AYB. Followed? So in that, arc AYB is called the major arc and arc AXB is known as the minor arc. Remember. So here the part of the circle or the part of the arc in which the center of circle is coming, that is always the major arc. Followed? So in the arc AYB circle, center C is lying, therefore it is a major arc, and AXB is a minor arc. Followed? Now instead of that, if we draw a central angle in the circle, again the circle will get divided into two parts. So due to the secant, the two parts are formed, and due to the central angle, that is the angle whose vertex is the center of the circle, is known as the central angle. So they have labeled this as O, A, B, and this is P. Followed? So, and this is part Q. So the circle gets divided into two parts by two ways. First, by drawing a secant, they have labeled this as A, B, this is X and this is Y. Followed? So due to secant, circle get divided into two parts, arc AXB and arc AYB. But due to central angle also the circle get divided into two parts, that is arc APB and arc AQB. Here arc AXB is known as the minor arc and arc AYB is known as the major arc. Followed? Here in this arc APB is known as the minor arc and arc AQB is known as the major arc. Followed? So here in this the central angle, whenever the interior of the circle is lying on the inside this arc, that is the minor, while the arc in which the exterior of the central angle is lying is known as the major arc. Followed? Major arc plus minor arc is always 360 degrees, which is the measure of circle. Then measure of central angle is always equal to measure of minor arc. That is, suppose we are having this angle 30 degrees, then measure arc APB also 30 degrees. So that is the rule. And measure of major arc will be 360 minus 30. That is, this arc will be 330 degrees. Followed? So these are the rules that we are going to use for finding the measures of the minor arc and major arc. So what rules you have to remember? The measure of minor arc is equal to the measure of central angle is equal to measure of minor arc. Was first important rule. Then measure of major arc is equal to 360 degrees minus measure of minor arc. Then measure of semicircle is always 180 degrees and measure of circle is 360 degrees. Followed? So these are the 4 rules they have given on page number 60 top. Now they have shown you the congruency of the arcs. So here, whenever the arcs have same radii and same central angle, then they are said to be congruent. Followed? The central angle must be the same and radii must be the same. Then only the arcs are said to be congruent. Then like angle addition, we can have the property of arc addition. So whenever the two arcs have one point common, then they can be added or subtracted. So here they have shown you the figure 3.32. In this major arc ABC, so ABC plus major arc CDE, here we can have the addition of these two arcs. Total we get major arc ACE. But here arc addition is allowed because they have common point C in between them. But if we have major arc ABE, that will not equal to major arc ABC plus major arc BCE, because in that the arc in between the two arcs there is no common point. Followed? So that is the rule for arc addition. Then we are going to see 2 theorems which are very easy. So we have started our chapter with the theorem number 1, that is tangent theorem. Second, we have seen the converse of tangent theorem. Third, we have seen that is the tangent segment theorem. Fourth theorem, we have seen the theorem of touching circle. So these are the theorems number 5 and 6 we are going to see now. So the chords corresponding to the congruent arcs of a circle are congruent. So if you are given the 2 chords congruent, then the corresponding minor arcs to them are also congruent. So they have drawn the figure. The chords corresponding to the congruent arcs of a circle are congruent. So here all these theorems are given totally in your book, but you have to write it yourself by giving the serial numbers, and you have to remember the statements of all the theorem. All are important. So now what is the statement? The chords corresponding to congruent arcs of a circle. So congruent arcs are given, that is arc APC is equal to arc EQD or DQE, that is given to you, and you have to prove chord AC congruent to chord ED, that you have to prove. Followed? So what is the statement? The chords corresponding to congruent arcs of a circle are congruent. So here they have given you fill in the blanks. So I will tell you, write it with your pencil. So in triangle ABC and triangle DBE, AB congruent DB. What is the reason you are going to write here? Radii of same circle. Followed? Second one, side BC congruent side BE. You are going to write the same reason, radii of same circle. And angle ABC congruent angle DBE, the measure of congruent arcs. Followed? So triangle ABC congruent triangle DBE, which test is there now? SAS test. So write SAS test. So chord AC congruent chord DE, corresponding sides of congruent triangles. So what statement you are proved here? The chords corresponding to congruent arcs of a circle are congruent. If the arcs are congruent, then the chords corresponding to them are also congruent. So here arcs congruent was given, chords congruent you have proved. Now the converse we are going to take, that is they must have given the chords congruent and you have to prove the arcs congruent. Followed? So here in this, what is the statement? Corresponding arcs of the congruent chords of a circle are congruent. Followed? So corresponding arcs, now arcs are not given congruent. Corresponding arcs of a congruent chords. Now the chords are congruent given. So you are given PQ congruent SR and you have to prove arc PMQ equal to arc SNR or RNS. Followed? So consider the following statement and write the proof. Two arcs are congruent if their measures and radii are equal. So arc PMQ and arc RNS are the arcs of the same circle and have equal radii. Their measures are same as the measures of their central angle. To obtain the central angle, we have to draw the radii OP, OQ, OR and OS. So can you show that triangle OPQ and triangle OR is congruent? So we have to show triangle OPQ congruent triangle ORS. So it is very easy. PQ congruent SR you are already given. OP congruent OS, radii of same circle. OQ congruent OR, radii of same circle. Therefore the two triangles will become congruent by side test. Followed? So by side test you are going to show the triangles congruent, that is triangle OPQ and triangle ORS. Prove the above two theorems for congruent circles. So instead of using one circle, if you draw two congruent circles, you can also prove by the same way. Followed? There is no another, only you are going to show the triangles congruent. Followed? So here as we are having triangle OPQ congruent triangle OSR, by side test you will have angle POQ congruent angle SOR, corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Followed? So in this you are going to add the thing in this theorem. First you are going to show, because they have asked to write it yourself. So first you are going to show triangle OPQ congruent triangle ORS by side test. Followed? After doing that, you are using corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Therefore angle POQ congruent angle ROS, corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Followed? So therefore arc PMQ equal to arc RNS. Followed? As these angles are congruent, reason arc corresponding to central angle. To central angle. Followed? So that is how you can prove both the theorems. Remember this property. Now they have given you solved examples. In these solved examples, they have given first ABC are any point. So these, let us think all these points are very important. You have to remember all these points. Now ABC are any points on the circle with center O. Write the names of all arcs formed due to these points. So names of the arcs they have given: arc AB, arc BC, arc AC, arc ABC, arc ACB, arc BAC. So you can write all these names. Write the names of all arcs. Then if major arc BC is 110 and major arc AB is 125, find the measures of all remaining arcs. So major arc ABC will be 110 plus 125, arc addition property 235. Major arc AC will be 360 minus 235, that is 125. Major arc ACB will be the same, that is 360 minus 125, 235. And major arc BAC, that will be 360 minus major arc BC, that is 360 minus 110, that will give you 250. Followed? So whenever you are asked to find out the measure of major arc, you have to subtract the measure of minor arc from 360. You will get the answer. Example number 2. In figure 3.36, a rectangle PQRS is inscribed in the circle with center T. Prove that arc PQ congruent arc SR and arc SPQ congruent arc PQR. So here, as it is given rectangle, you are having PQ equal to SR, congruent sides of the opposite sides of the rectangle, and PS. So chord PQ equal to chord SR, and therefore arc PQ equal to arc SR. So that is so simple. Arcs corresponding to congruent chords. Follow? That is the first answer. So first answer is very easy. Arc PQ congruent arc SR. How you are going to prove? Because as PQRS is a rectangle, side PQ equal to side SR, opposite sides of rectangle, and therefore arc PQ equal to arc SR, chords arcs corresponding to congruent chords. Followed? Now PS equal to QR, opposite sides of again rectangle. So again arc SP equal to arc QR, arc corresponding to congruent chords. So if we have the addition of these, arc SP plus arc PQ, we have added left hand side with left hand side, and arc SR plus arc QR, then we will get arc SPQ equal to arc PQR. Therefore arc SPQ congruent arc PQR. Followed? So that is how we are going to prove this very easily. Now practice set 3.3, sum number 1. In figure 3.37, point G, D, E, F are concyclic points of a circle. So I will draw the figure. So this is point C, G, D, E, F. So they have given angle ECF 70 degrees and major arc DGF 200. DGF 200 degrees. Followed? So we are to they have asked to find out major arc DE. So major arc DE they have asked to find out. So as angle ECF is equal to 70 degrees, major arc EF equal to 70 degrees. Arc corresponding to central angle. That is the reason you are going to use to central angle. Followed? So therefore major arc EFD is equal to major arc EF plus major arc FGD. So that is equal to 70 plus 200, that is 270 degrees. And major arc DE they have asked, major arc DE is equal to 360 minus major arc EFD. Followed? EFD, that is equal to 360 minus 270, that is equal to 90 degrees. So that is the first answer. Then major arc DEF. So you have now this 90 degrees, you have now this 70 degrees. So you can write major arc DEF is equal to major arc DE plus major arc EF. That is arc addition property. You have to write the reason 90 plus 70, 160 degrees. So that is the first answer from practice set 3.3. Now second sum, in figure 3.38, triangle PQ and triangle QRS is an equilateral triangle. So this triangle QRS is given equilateral triangle, that means these chords are given congruent. Prove that arc RS equal to arc QS equal to arc QR. So as we have triangle QRS equilateral triangle, therefore chord QR equal to chord RS. Therefore, arc RS equal to, sorry, QR means arc QR is equal to arc RS. Major arc QR equal to major arc RS. What is the reason? Arc corresponding to congruent chords. That is the reason. Alright. Similarly, chord. Now we have taken QR and RS. Now we will take RS and QS. Chord RS equal to chord QS. Therefore, major arc RS equal to major arc QS. Same reason. So if we compare these three, then we have arc RS, congruent arc QS, congruent arc RS. So if we have first and second, this is our first one, this is our second one, with the same reason, we can have the result arc RS is equal to arc or congruent arc QS, congruent arc QR. Alright. Now they have asked major arc QRS 240. So here this angle is 60 degrees, this angle is 60 degrees as it is equilateral triangle. Alright. So major arc QRS will be 360 minus this. Now here we are going to use the inscribed angle theorem. That part we are going to see in the next pages, but I will explain. That is, they have asked major arc QRS. Followed. So here QRS will be major arc QR plus major arc RS, but we are not knowing major arc QR as well as major arc RS. So how to find out that? Major arc QRS, they have asked to find out, is equal to major arc QR plus major arc RS. Followed. So major arc QR is equal to, here major arc QR will be major angle QSR is equal to half major arc QR. That is inscribed angle theorem that we are going to see in the next page. So major angle QRS is 60 degrees equal to half major arc QR. So that will be 120 degrees major arc QR. Similarly, major arc RS 120 degrees. Therefore, major arc QRS 240 degrees. 120 plus 120, 240 degrees. Follow? Then in figure 3.39, chord AB congruent chord CD, prove that arc AC congruent arc BD. So that is also very simple. I will draw the figure. So this is AB, CD. So they have given chord AB is equal to chord CD. That is given. Followed. AB, therefore arc ACB congruent arc CBD or DBC. Reason, for AB chord the corresponding arc is ACB, for CD chord the corresponding arc is DBC. Therefore, reason, arcs corresponding to congruent chords. Follow? But major arc ACB is equal to major arc, this is suppose 1, AC plus major arc CB and major arc DBC is equal to major arc DB plus major arc BC. This is second, this is third. So if we equate them, which part will get cancelled? BC part will get cancelled. From 1 to 3, we will have major arc AC is equal to major arc BC. Major arc AC, I will write above. Major arc AC equal to major arc BD. That means you have arc AC congruent arc BD. Followed? So that is practice set 3.3, which is based on the property, that is, if the arcs are congruent, corresponding chords are congruent. If chords are congruent, then corresponding arcs are congruent. Followed? After that, the very important part that they have given is the inscribed angle. So that I will take in the next video, because I am going to take the inscribed angle theorem in that, very important, in the next video. Followed?